Hello, we are here for one more lesson of this T-Flex CAD training course, and the topic for today will be the modifications via dimensions. T-Flex has the capability of modifying the models, the 3D model or the 2D drawing using dimensions. This is quite simple and very useful. And to show you, I will create a very simple example, as you may have seen in other occasions. So I will create a very easy figure. So something rectangle. And now I will put a circle in the middle, something like this. And couple of lines. Okay, now create some graphical lines on top of this construction. Okay, and that's it. Okay, we have a very easy construction. Now let us assign a couple of dimensions. So one dimension here, one dimension in here, and another one here. So what we want now is to change the drawing clicking on the dimensions. We have several ways to do it. One, it is to come to this parameters menu, saying set value, then we click in one dimension, this one, for example, we get this dialog box. So if we input a new value, for example, the dimension will change the drawing. Okay, this is one way. We can do also going to the dimension, right click and set value, we go in the same place. Okay, or simply than that, we can only or just click on top and assess the same thing. So, and we can do this for all these kinds of dimensions where the drawing will adapt to what we are inputting. This has to do with the entities we have and with the relations we have on the drawing. So what we construct and the relations that the entities have between each other have effect on these changes. And we must assure that to be able to do this, that when we create the dimensions on the parameters, besides other things, and this is important, on the value, we cannot have this in manually. So we have to leave this in auto, because if we leave this in manually, it will not adapt or change the drawing via this command. One other topic important to this lesson is also to how to recalculate the dimensions, having in mind the tolerances that we may have in our dimensions. So if we edit the dimensions, or when we create this, we can play with the tolerances, and we can create some deviations. For example, 0.2 positive and 0 or minus 0.3 negative. So, and we get something like this. And we can do the same for the other dimensions also. For example, deviation, so 0.4, 0.2. And finally, the radius, not through this way. So right click, edit. We can put also some tolerance and say 0.1, 0.05, and okay, we have some tolerances created. And now, if we go into parameters and use this function here, recalculate to middle of the tolerance, the drawing will change to the middle of these tolerances we have. Let us do this. And yes, and as you can see, it changed the appearance of the tolerance. And I will do the undo, and you will see the drawing changing according to the new dimensions. Okay, it changed slightly, but I think it's visible that it is changing something. This is very important because for example, when you are using CNC programming on top of this, where you should use tolerances, this is very important to adapt your drawing on a very easy and fast way. So these are the two commands that I had in my mind to talk about in this lesson. I hope these examples were clear to pass you these topics.